Good evening, my friends. How do you do today? Well, as soon as I started the camera, I saw a flash of light, and I was wondering, was that lightning? Well, it is spring. I wouldn't be surprised. Everything I know about spring, summer, autumn, or red, blue, metal, plastic, every single item, every single object that I know in my life, I know because of the programming. The programming that we all have, the programming that tells us where we're at, what we're doing, who we're with, what matters. And as I'm sitting in my car in my driveway, in the rain, with lightning, I'm assigning a certain reality to the world around me. I'll turn the light on here. I wanted to talk for a minute about nihilism, something that, in its essence, tears down faiths, if you will. And the idea came to me after I've been fascinated with a variety of philosophies over the years, but only in the last few have I really researched into Nietzsche. And Nietzsche was a pretty interesting fellow. He's most known for saying God is dead, and misinterpreted for what that meant and the reason he was known for that. But he's also known and related to nihilism. And nihilism is the belief that nothing exists and nothing matters. Wow, that was some lightning for sure. See if I get some thunder. The idea that nothing matters, basically, that nothing is inherently important at all. And the truth is, he was opposed to nihilism. If you will, Nietzsche believed that. Here we go. There's some bass. Boom. Only through the experience of realizing that this life is important, that nothing else really does matter. In other words, letting go of faith, letting go of our ideals, letting go of our morals, and realizing that these are all paradigms that we've created. And it's something that I've kind of had a difficult time with in my own life. I'd like to believe that there are inherent universal values and morals, and that there is natural law. And I've said over and over, in my videos over the years, that I believe in natural law, and I do, but it's not that the law can't be broken. It's that the law preserves us overall. And an example of natural law is the simple golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that's a pretty basic, common sense thing, But there may be times when that can be broken too. And that's the idea of looking beyond morals and dogma, if you will, to see that what we consider to be important is merely what's been assigned to us over the generations. It leads to the old, well, I don't want to get into too much of a religious philosophy on it, but the idea is own your energy or somebody else will own it for you. If you don't take charge of who you are and embrace who you are and make your life worth something, it doesn't matter if you're a nihilist or not. You will be working for someone else. You will be a slave. And that was Nietzsche's idea of the slave. The slave was not the man who just worked for a living and played into the system. The slave was the man who was constantly opposing it and using his energy to fight something he can't defeat. And the slave was the one who put himself into that mindset, if you will. But the idea of herd mentality, the idea that we're all basically just sheep or cattle, and that it's easier to follow the pack than it is to think for ourselves. And we can't say any one of us, not one of us, that we're independent thinkers. We can be independent thinkers in the sense that we come up with original ideas, but all of those are based in words. And those ideas are based in values and based in preconceived notions about what's right and wrong. If you eliminate the idea of what's right and wrong, you're left with very little to go on. And this is something you can see why humans created. Ooh, that was a nice boom. I think that one showed up on the camera. The idea of the slave is somebody who says that if I fail, everyone fails. And that's the mentality that it's not worth living if I can't have what I want, and I can't do it the way I want. And that's what Nietzsche considered the slave. The person who believes that they tried, they failed, and everyone else is going to fail, and everyone else is going to pay with them. And those are the folks who you see on YouTube talking about how the world's going to end this year. And every year it's a new conspiracy, a new fear. Those are the folks who are so wrapped up in their own beliefs, they don't even see that they're wasting their days away dwelling on things that they can never change or may never exist. So the whole idea is there is no one man with the answers. And so there's no one YouTuber, no one guru, no one teacher, no one president, no one leader that you can go to get any answers that will be complete. The only way to get a complete set of answers is to do your own reasoning. And this is where each man comes into his own. We can learn as much as we want about other people and from other people, but ultimately we're stuck with our own answers and our own questions that are going to be independent and unique to each individual. We can't escape being mankind, and we can't control mankind. So what is the key? What is the point? And how do we conquer our fears and realize our potential? It's to realize that life is short, that life is great, and that life is something that's meaningful. And then to take that meaning and apply it to our individual situations, however that might manifest. I cannot tell you what's important for your life. Nobody can. But I'll tell you, there are a million people out there who are trying to tell you that they can. And all I can say is, fuck the gurus. And I don't mean that offensively. I mean that as kind of a joke with the language there. The gurus can teach you a little bit about how to understand the world around you, but they can never teach you how to understand yourself. Philosophers have thought long and hard about what it means to be alive, and we're not the first generation to think about it, and we won't be the last. But we do have prior work to draw on that can help us to understand where we're at right now. And for me, that's been very useful in seeing that everything is balance. We're never going to be happy all the time, and we sure as hell won't be sad all the time. There will always be a balance, and that balance will be struck independently for each individual, depending on what they're used to and what they expect. In other words, a rich person who's never suffered a hardship might lose $1 million and it might break their heart. Whereas a person who has absolutely nothing might lose his only 20 and not give a damn. And I prefer to be that person who has less, so I can be grateful for any time that I have more, which is a rarity. I love being human. I love what it means to be human, but I don't understand what it means to be human, and I won't pretend to. And every year that goes by, I realize the mistakes that I made in the past. And generally, they're pretty light. They're nothing I beat myself up over. I don't go out drunk driving or hurt anybody or hurt myself or, get drunk every night and black out. My decisions are very mild, the things that bother me about myself, but from year to year, I'll change that opinion. And all of a sudden I'll realize that maybe I don't feel the way I thought I felt. Maybe I don't feel like such a, like life is a certain way, like we're supposed to be doing one thing or another. Like humans are supposed to be obligated to be, working, whether it be work or play. I'm just saying that we all change our opinions regularly. We should, anyway. And ultimately it should work towards bettering our lives and making us feel more confident about who we are as individuals. Understanding Nietzsche's philosophy, or understanding death, or understanding defeatism, these are things that help us. We just can't embrace them. Yep, we're gonna die, and yep, if we carry on, I guess one of the philosophies that I heard the best was that make this life so great that when you do die, if you do go to heaven, you say, damn it, this heaven isn't as good as it was living on earth. Make it the best you can. Take care, everybody.